At the end of last year, I filmed a video about predictions for a ton of companies, Apple included, and I was pretty close. If you didn't see that video, we'll link it up here and down below. But I am bringing my 6th sense back to give you 5 predictions for 2017 for Apple. And I left off the low hanging fruit here. Things like we'll see spec upgrades, we'll see new iPads. The iPhone is included in the list, but for a very special reason. Let's get mind-bending. First, we're not going to have an iPhone 7S. 2017 is going to mark the 10-year anniversary of the very first iPhone. I think we're going to skip the S and jump right to the 8. Things are going to usher in 3 different models. See the traditional upgrade cycle we've seen for the 4.7-inch, 5.5-inch, but the big change is that third phone. While we don't know what the screen size is going to be, we do know the technology in that screen is going to be OLED, and the back is going to be covered with glass, as of course the front is going to be as well. Edge-to-edge display on this phone, which means we're not gonna have a Touch ID button anymore. It's gonna be integrated right into the display itself, as will the front-facing camera. And another big addition we could expect with the iPhone 8, finally, wireless charging. Thank you, Apple, for giving us wireless charging. It's been way too long. Number 4, Apple's gonna play the Grim Reaper and kill 2 of their products. The MacBook Air, and I hate to say it, folks, the iPod line. Nostalgia be damned, nostalgia is not gonna pay the bills. It's time for those two to go the way of the dodo. I thought the MacBook Air line was gonna be dead last year. It looks like a lame duck even more now that the MacBook exists and the new MacBook Pros are out. You've got last gen's display, you've got 3 generations ago design with really horrible looking bezels. This thing doesn't fit in Apple's lineup anymore. I'd expect the MacBook to go a little bit upscale to fill that gap where the MacBook Air used to be. And we could just pour one out for the poor iPod. Ask yourself when the last time you bought an iPod was, or when the last time you know someone who actually bought an iPod was. The only reason I could see anybody buying one nowadays is maybe for their kid. But phones have become iPods, and the iPod as we know it is done. Perhaps an name will live on, another type of product, but it's done. Number 3, so they might be taken away, but new things are coming in the form of accessories. Apple wouldn't just release MacBook Pros with the Touch Bar without some accessories as well. We're going to see a brand new wireless keyboard with a Touch Bar built in. I do say wireless, and I'm also gonna go out on an even crazier limb and say it's even gonna have a number pad, and it's going to be wireless. So that should be nice to have, but it should very nicely sync up with a brand new iMac that we're also going to have in 2017. That's not part of the rumors, that's like a bonus. New accessories, we're also going to have Touch ID enabled things. We'll have Touch ID enabled Magic Mouse and Touch ID enabled Magic Trackpad. Coming in at number 2, a brand new product line for Apple. Apple's notorious for seeing new industries, seeing new trends, stay on the sidelines until they mature, and then releasing their products. This is going to be true with the home speakers. We've seen things like the Amazon Echo with Alexa, Google jump in the fray with Google Home. Apple is going to be jumping into this battle feet first with, I don't know, Apple Home, Siri at home, Smart Siri, Siri Now. One of those things, you'll have a Siri-enabled standalone device that you could put into your home. And the number 1 prediction that I think maybe folks aren't seeing coming, it's a rumor that we saw last year, I think we are finally going to see come to fruition, iMessage for Android. And before you yell at me, why would Apple do that? It makes no sense. Why the people are gonna switch? Hear me out. Just hear me out. Apple has a chance to own messaging, not just own messaging on Apple's platform. If there was iMessage for Android, yes, people would switch and people would certainly buy less apps for iOS because they'd be using a different platform. But owning messaging would create so much value for the company, I think it would almost balance it out. I mean, look at what BlackBerry did with BBM. They spun it off, and now with its own valuable platform, companies have been trying to get a piece of that messaging platform. We've seen Google do it with Allo and Duo, but imagine one app, message all of your friends with. I think that's what Apple is going to finally do. They'll own messaging. They'll perhaps be advertising based inside of the Android version to make up for that lost revenue. But I think owning that from top to bottom, OS to OS, is gonna be the first of many times we're gonna see Apple start to play nice with other operating systems. So obviously there are a lot more things they could have predicted and things that probably would have been way easier to predict, but I wanted to give you guys something a little bit exciting. So things from OLED phones to touch bar enabled keyboards, to finally be able to message your friends in blue who are on Android. But one prediction for next year that I know is going to come true is that you're gonna wanna save a little bit of cash. And one of the best ways to do that is on your phone bill, and the folks from Ting have you covered. They have this crazy idea where maybe you should only pay for the data that you're using, starting at like $10 per gigabyte. If you don't use it, you just don't pay for it. If you don't believe me, go to technobuffalo.ting.com just to check out how much money you could save. And if you decide to sign up, you get $25 towards your first device in Ting service. What are your favorite predictions for 2017 for Apple? Did I miss one? What do you guys think is gonna happen? Leave in the comments down below. We have more prediction videos coming. We've got predictions for Google and Android, Samsung, and a ton more. If you wanna see a particular video though, again, let us know in the comments. And while you're down there, give the video a thumbs up. We appreciate it. Till next time, I'm John Ranger from Techno Buffalo. I'm gonna see you in the future.